So from the east to the west we go, and as you can see, I'm joined by a special guest for this one, none other than Camborne's Josh Matavesi. I know a familiar face to a lot of rugby fans. So Josh, thanks so much for coming on this week.
Oh, thank you very much, Chris. Thanks for having me. A lot of the boys here watch this as well, so it's a good program to watch.
I appreciate it. I know we're featuring a lot of Camborne's tries recently, and I hope that's not just the reason why, Josh.
I might well be, yeah, I think.
And obviously, we can't do anything about that, and neither than Camborne, who have been one of the standout sides in National 2 West this season. And if you are part of a National 2 West team, you follow the league, you follow National League Rugby, you'll be very much aware that Josh's Camborne take on Clifton this coming Saturday in a top of the table battle, which I know we're all looking forward to. Just 4 points separate the leading pair at the moment. But Josh, before we kind of go into that game, let's look back at last weekend from a Camborne perspective and that 34-31 win away at Hornets. Now, it's never not been an easy place for teams to go this year, has it, that Hornets? But to come out there with a full 5 points and a maximum, you guys must be really pleased with that.
Yeah, very pleased. And we didn't play to our full potential, which was probably the making of a good side, is that we can still able to win and not still probably be, if we're honest, probably a 6 out of 10. So we knew how hard it was going to be. We never underestimated Hornets. I did a lot of homework on them during the week prior, and at home they are such a difficult side to break down. So we knew that we're in for a hard one. We don't want to get too carried away with what's coming this week. So it was important, really important, to get the performance this week and the result against Hornets. I don't think you can underestimate many teams in this league. Results show that pretty much everyone can beat everybody. So it's not one of those leagues where you can pick and choose where you want to win, where you can take your foot off the pedal. So this year, I think National League 2 West has probably been one of the difficult leagues, I reckon, to be in. Just with the amount of quality that's in the league, it's great. It's great for National League Rugby. It's probably just the whole experience of going to a game on the day and playing against teams that know that you're top of the table. That's really, really important, that you know what's coming. I've been in that. I've been in that side when Newcastle got relegated, and every week you're playing a championship side that wants to come and take your head off. They give you the best. They give you the best version of themselves, and I feel like that's probably where we are at the minute with Camborne. Is we're at the top of the table. We're getting the best version of every team that we're playing at the minute, and so we can't let up either. It's probably a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, and as Josh has already referenced, I'm sure Hornets felt exactly the same coming up against Camborne last Saturday, and Hinckley may well have done the same against second place Clifton, who are breathing down Camborne's necks at the moment. A club record equaling 11th win for the Lavender and Blacks on Saturday, but my goodness me, they had to dig extremely deep. They were 37-28 down with 6 minutes to go, but a penalty try and a powerful finish from winger Luke Daniels ensured that the Lavender and Blacks matched Camborne's feat of claiming a bonus point victory in round 17, but they managed to claim a 42-37 win in that one. And as you can see by looking at the table that will appear in front of myself and Josh now, that gap remains at 4 points between Camborne and Clifton going into this weekend's meeting between the leading pair. And a quick mention for Camborne's neighbours as well, Redruth, who sits sixth in the table, one defeat in the last 8 games for them now after beating Old Redcliffians 31-29 at the weekend. Just quickly before we bring Josh back into it, a look at the bottom half of the table. None of the bottom 4 sides collected points in round 17, but Loughborough showed their threats against Camborne the other week, and they certainly proved a tough one for Bourneville in round 17, scoring 7 unanswered tries to claim a 49-7 victory. And in terms of Hornets and Hinckley, who sit just below them in the table, both of those sides picked up a couple of points in defeat last time out, and as we mentioned, Hornets did that against Josh's Camborne. And Josh, just to kind of bring you back in to the conversation, we spoke for an article for our website in the summer of 2023 when you kind of returned to Camborne. And listening to you in the first part of this interview, you can tell you're really enjoying the experience of playing, but also the defensive coaching side of it. So how much you kind of enjoying the journey the club is on, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well?
It's fantastic, Chris. Is Just to see the kids running out on a Sunday morning is fantastic. I do a lot of work in the schools during the week too, so trying to get participation up at grassroots level, mini and juniors, boys and girls as well, is great to see. And I feel like the club on the pitch is going up, which is kind of correlation to the club doing well off the pitch. And obviously, it doesn't run without its volunteers. So, our team manager, Calvin Smitheram, is an amazing guy. He puts in probably more hours doing this than he does his real job. So, it's people like that keep the club alive. So that's probably what I remember watching Calvin when I was a kid, and just how important and how much it meant to him to play for Camborne. So just trying to kind of drive that and instill that back into the club and the community. Still get that same feeling of putting the jersey on, which I don't think will ever go away. So I've played for many, many great teams, but to put that Camborne jersey on still is a really good touch. So I'm enjoying that and I get to see my mates, see my family more. So it's all in all good decision. I'm really proud of where the club is, and I'm proud of the people that run it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Josh. And on to Saturday then. And I know you've played in big occasions, you've been part of big games, and I'm not going to sit here and compare National 2 West to playing at World Cups or in Europe or in the Premiership or anything like that, Josh. But have you got the same feeling in your stomach, same feeling this week of a big important game on the horizon?
Yeah, you can feel it. You can feel it just even after the game against Hornets on Saturday. We kind of knew what's coming up this week. But it's really important. I feel like for to use our experience, we've got Carl Moyle. He played nearly 100 games for Gloucester, fullback. We've got Jack Andrews, played 12 years in Cornish Pirates. So we've got a lot of experienced players in big games. So for us, it's just we've got to do what we can do. We can only control what we can control. But what an occasion for the club, and what an occasion for the town and the league as well. It's quite nice to have a league that's quite tight. Games mean a lot, but also as well that still a lot of rugby to be played. So regardless of the result on Saturday, we still got loads of games to play. So it's not really a season-defining game, but it's a game that could really set the tone and give us a little bit of a gap. I know Clifton very well and watched them a lot, and their head coach Luke Cousins I know very well from Bath. So I know he'll be trying to come up with a plan to try and take it away, but I know I've got a lot of faith and confidence that the home crowd that will turn up on Saturday will hopefully give them a hard time.
Yeah, no messages between yourself and Luke this week, Josh, then?
Nah, none.
Absolutely zero. And just kind of finally on Saturday, Josh, I know probably last season's results probably don't matter too much. I know Clifton did kind of get the better of you on both occasions. So how much would it mean to maybe avenge that loss on Saturday? But more importantly, perhaps, is really enhance the position you've created for yourselves at the top of National 2 West.
I actually went back this morning and watched the home and away game from last season just to pick up a few things, see if they were still doing the same things. But it'd be awesome. What a great journey from our point of view that our local lads get to be top of the table, and hopefully after the end of this week we're 9 points clear. We're going to enjoy it. I think we're going to enjoy it as a group. We're going to enjoy it, win or lose. Saturday we'll probably have some beers with them as well. So as a community as well, I can feel it as well. Walking around Camborne, it's a big week. You can just sense it. People coming up, saying that they're going to be there on Saturday and looking forward to the occasion. So the club have done a real good job in promoting that and advertising that. And so have yourselves. The social media side of the game now, such a huge thing for us, especially as local clubs, grassroots clubs. It's what a way to introduce some National League Rugby with big games like this. So thanks for your input as well into this.
No, I appreciate the kind words, Josh, and it's music to our ears that so many people in the Camborne area are absolutely buzzing for this game on Saturday. As Josh quite rightly mentioned before, there has been some big crowds in National 2 West this season, including actually last week at Taunton, where there was 1,260 in attendance for their game against Exeter University last Friday. And as Josh quite rightly mentions, all eyes will be on the recreation ground on Saturday when Camborne take on Clifton. Camborne also have won all 8 of their home games this season. So it is a 2 p.m. kickoff on Saturday, a large crowd expected. So get down early, and I'm reliably informed the town bar at Camborne is open from 12 p.m. So you can really build up the excitement from lunchtime right the way through until the early hours, if that's what you want to do. I know they're showing the England-Ireland game on in the clubhouse afterwards, but quite frankly, it is a sideshow, isn't it, just to Camborne versus Clifton?
Yeah, get yourselves down to the club at 12 o'clock. Get some Guinness down you.
Well, that all the Six Nations stuff doesn't pales into insignificance this weekend with such a big game in National 2 West. And just quickly before we finish, there are two other games in National 2 West to mention this weekend. On this reserve weekend, Exeter University in action after being beaten 31-23 by Taunton last week. They take on fifth place Luctonians. Exeter Uni remain 1 place and 2 points above the danger zone as things stand, and Luctonians actually going into that game targeting a third win on the bounce for the first time since the start of October. And fourth place Cinderford, who returned to winning ways with a 46-19 victory over Devonport Services last week. They take on Hinckley, who we touched on with Josh. Obviously, they played Clifton last week and actually led 3 times, so Hinckley can absolutely take confidence into their game against a tough opposition in Cinderford this weekend. So there are only 3 games in National 2 West, but plenty to look forward to, and of course, including that Camborne versus Clifton game on Saturday afternoon. Josh, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you once again. All the very best for Saturday, and more importantly, enjoy the occasion as well.
Oh, thanks, Chris. Thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.